Okay. Are you ready for your final Sheena Easton video?
Yes, I suppose so. It's bittersweet, man. But I'm ready.
Yep.
When you're
Alright. Let's do this. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Hello, hello, hello. This is Brandon, and welcome to the final Sheena Easton video. Guys, I am so sorry it took so long to get this out, but I'm not going to make you wait for 2 videos. We're putting both of them into one, so you can enjoy it all at one time. So basically, this first video, or the first part, is going to be re-ranking her albums. So I gave a ranking when I did the videos based on the first listen. And I know some of you didn't agree with some of the ratings I gave some of the albums, but I have since then listened to all of them numerous times, and now I'm going to be able to give you another ranking based on listening to all these albums multiple times. Some albums may get a lower score than what I gave them the first time. Some may get a higher score. Some may stay the same. You don't know yet, but you're about to find out. So let's not waste any time, okay? Sheena Easton, first album. I originally gave it a 9 out of 10. When I first heard it, during that first review, I loved it. It was a surprise. Like I said, I started out this thing. I was only going to do a video for this album and send it to my brother-in-law because he's the one that talked me into getting this album. I ended up loving it. And now, a few months later, here we are. So, after listening to it multiple times, and this is one of the albums I've listened to the most, I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10. It's going up because this is almost a perfect album. I love every single song on this album except Voice on the Radio. Still don't like it. That's the only reason it doesn't get a 10 out of 10. I don't know what it is about that song. Every time I listen to it, it annoys me for whatever reason. But that's okay. 9.5 out of 10 is still awesome. So it went from a 9 to a 9.5 out of 10. Already an improvement, guys. Let's move on to the next album, which is You Could Have Been With Me. I originally gave this album a 7 out of 10. It wasn't as good as this one, and there were a couple more songs I just did not like off this album, including still my least favorite song out of pretty much anything she's done is Savoir Faire. I absolutely loathe that song for whatever reason. So, after listening to it even more, it is no longer a 7 out of 10. I'm giving this a 6 out of 10. Did not hold up. Not a lot of the songs I really like, but the only reason I'm ranking it even as high as 6 out of 10 is because the songs that I do like, I love. They're great songs. So, you know, it did go down a little bit, but and the more I listen to it, the more it just doesn't hold up. There are a couple of these albums that the more I listen to it, the better it gets. This is not one of them. So it's gone from a 7 out of 10 to 6 out of 10. Have no fear. Next one, Madness, Money, and Music. I originally gave this one a 9.5 out of 10. I adore this album. And after listening to it, even more than the first album, I mean, I listen to this constantly. I'm going to keep it at a 9.5 out of 10. No reason it doesn't get a 10 out of 10 is because that stupid song, Machinery. I hate that song. That is the only one I hate. I hate that one and love all the others. So because of Machinery, I cannot give this one a 10 out of 10, but I still absolutely adore this one. And out of all the albums, this one's still one of my favorites. So have no fear, it is still awesome. All right, Best Kept Secret. I gave this one, let me look at my notes, an 8 out of 10 originally. I was kind of afraid going into this one because, you know, I had heard that she changed her style up completely. And so before I listened to it, kind of fearful. I'm like, oh no, you know, after Madness, Money, and Music, I was like, don't change anything. I love that. But I was pleasantly surprised. As you probably remember from the video, it was awesome. The new sound totally works. And other than a couple of songs on this album, I love it. So actually, it was originally 8 out of 10. I'm bumping it up to 8.5 out of 10 because the more I listen to this one, it gets better and better. And like I said, other than like 2 songs, I absolutely love this album. So yeah, it went up a little bit from 8 out of 10 to 8.5 out of 10. So still awesome. All right, A Private Heaven. All right, guys, I'm going to admit, I absolutely love this album. It is one of my favorites. When I did the review, I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. But the more I listen to it, this one's become one of my favorite Sheena Easton albums. I love it. The one thing I didn't like was the song Double Standard being the last song of the album. I don't know, for some reason, I wasn't crazy about that song. And I still don't know what to make of You Make Me Nervous. Every time I listen to that, I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be the time where I'm like, I get it. I'm not sure. But other than that, I've listened to this album as well as Madness Money Music more than any of them. So I give it an 8.5 out of 10 during the review. I have bumped it up to 9.5 out of 10. It is up there with Madness, Money, and Music. If I'm going to pick one of her albums to listen to just randomly, this will be on the top of the list. I love A Private Heaven. So, still awesome. Even better than I thought it was. So, all right, now we come to Do You. If you remember during the video review of this album, I gave it a 3 out of 10. I did not like it, hardly at all. But I was excited to go back to listen to this one. And I will admit, after the last video review of her last album, I have gone back and listened to every single album again, no matter how many times I've listened to them. And I haven't listened to this one since the first review. So I was excited to go back to it because I thought, you know what? Maybe I was harsh on it. Maybe I was too harsh on it, and maybe I didn't give it a chance. Maybe I need to listen to it outside of the recording the review, and maybe I'll enjoy it more. Yeah, what do I say about this one? This is worse than my original thoughts. I listened to it again, and even the 3 songs I liked on here, which was Jimmy Mac, Money Back Guarantee. I think there was 2 or 3 of them that I liked. They're still pretty terrible. So, what do I say? This album is a dumpster fire. I hate it. And it got a 3 out of 10 the first time. I'm giving it a 1 out of 10. And the only reason it's not getting a 0 is because I kind of like Jimmy Mac. So, this is by far the worst Sheena Easton album she put out, in my opinion. I absolutely hate it, and I'm never going to go listen to it again. Unless I'm just hating myself and want to torture myself for whatever reason, then I'll go back and listen to it. But otherwise, say bye-bye to Do You. Oh boy. No Sound By the Heart. I originally gave this a 6.5 out of 10. Now, I know this is one album that a lot of you adore. And so this was another one that I haven't listened to since I've listened to it maybe once after I did the review. But I was actually excited to go back and listen to this one again because I thought, you know what, maybe this was another one I was too hard on. And I was still, I guess, kind of bitter about how bad Do You was, maybe. I don't know. But I thought, you know what, I'm actually going to sit down, listen to this one, and give it a fair chance and see what I think about it. I enjoyed it more this time than even the last time I listened to it, and especially from the video review. But this album just doesn't do a lot for me. It doesn't hit the right buttons. I don't know. I know a lot of you love this album, and I'm happy for you guys. But yeah, it doesn't do much for me. Now, there are a couple of songs on here. When What If We Fall in Love and No Ordinary Love, that I love. I love those two songs. I even like Eternity, and I like these songs. I like all the songs. I just don't love any of them. And there are some I just don't like, but I am going to give this, it was a 6.5 during the review. I'm actually going to give this one a 7.5. I'm going to bump it up because I do get what everybody likes about it. I probably won't listen to it a lot, but it wasn't as bad as what I originally thought when I was listening to it the first time. It's not bad, it's just, to me, it's forgettable. And that's what I can say about No Soundbite at Heart. Still not as bad as Do You, though, I will tell you that. All right. Lover and Me. So, if you remember, this is the only album in all of my reviews to get a 10 out of 10 for Perfect Album. I love this album. And I have listened to it quite a bit. But for this last listen, I really paid attention. This is still one of my favorite albums of hers. It's just not as flawless as I thought it was. There are a couple songs that I liked a little less than the others. I'm actually bumping it down to a 9.5 out of 10 because it's still one of my favorite albums of hers, but it's just not the perfect album I thought it was during my review of this album. And you know what? My excitement for this album hasn't changed, but I'm sure I was excited as I was because of the last two albums I reviewed before it. So when I heard this New Jack Swing music, like I said, it has a special place in my heart because this is the kind of music I used to listen to when I was younger. So I still adore this album. So it's not perfect, it's not a 10 out of 10, but it is a 9.5 out of 10, which is still great because the only other albums that have gotten that is Madness Money Music and A Private Heaven. So we're going to count that as a win. All right. So, what comes naturally? So, if you remember during my review of this, I gave it a 9 out of 10. But then after I played the next album coming up, I bumped this down to an 8 out of 10. I'm not sure it's as awesome as I thought it was. So, when I listened to it, I don't know, I go back and forth with this one because there's a lot of songs that sound exactly the same. And there's a couple of songs I really, really love off of this, but it's nowhere near as good as The Lover and Me. And it's just, I don't know. Basically what I'm trying to say is I went from a 9 to an 8 initially. Yeah, it doesn't deserve a 9, and it doesn't deserve an 8, I don't think. 7.5 and 8, I can't, this is the one I'm having a lot of trouble with because I can't decide where I want to put it. But for now, we'll say 7.5, and who knows, maybe tomorrow it'll be an 8. But I still love this album. It's just not as good as I thought it was initially. That's all right, though. It's still awesome. So, now we come to No Strings. Now, I told you in a review of this album that I love jazz music. In the last 10 to 15 years, I've listened to jazz a lot. A lot of, like, my favorite group, one of my favorite groups of all time is a group called Take Six, and they do a lot of jazz music. But I also have gotten to love the Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, even Michael Bublé. I like all of the jazz music. So when I figured out this was a jazz album, I was shocked. And was quite a different musical choice than what she did on the last couple of albums. But at the time, I gave it an 8.5 out of 10 during the review. Now, I will say that out of all the Sheena Easton albums, I have listened to this one the most. Any kind of mood I'm in, I can pop this album on. If I'm having a bad day, I'll pop this album on, listen to it, and it's very calming. Her vocals on this album are probably the best vocals out of any album she did. Every song, her voice is just so smooth and emotional and awesome, and it's just incredible. There's not a single bad song on this album. There may be some I like a little. There's a couple of them that I may like less than the rest of them, but even those are still awesome. I mean, it's just, and I don't skip any songs when I listen to it. Now, on some of these others, I have skipped some of the songs just when I'm randomly listening to them that I don't like as much. But this one, I don't skip any songs. I mean, this is a great album. And this is without a doubt my favorite Sheena Easton album. I have decided that out of all the albums, this is my favorite one. Because of that, it has gone up from an 8.5 to a 10 out of 10. This is the best Sheena Easton album. And it's crazy because during the first listen, I'm like, yeah, it's good. I like it a lot, but I didn't really appreciate it as much during the review. And it's hard to appreciate any of these albums as much as I should, because it's just a first listen. I don't have time to collect my thoughts or really dive into the music, or and really pay attention to the lyrics and the music and her vocals and everything. It's hard to do any of that during the reviews. But yeah, I love this album, and this is going to be my 10 out of 10 album for sure. And I will continue to listen to this one more than any other album she put out, which is crazy because her first 5 albums to me are the best ones, and after that they kind of go down in quality and for my enjoyment, but that's okay. This one's right in the middle, and I absolutely love this album. So No Strings, 10 out of 10. All right, my Cherie. So I originally gave this a 7.5 out of 10. During the review for this album, I don't know what it was. I just didn't care for it. And I remember this is the one where the fast songs just didn't click with me. The slow songs I really liked, but the fast songs I just didn't care about at all. And I haven't listened to this one. Now, so after I do the reviews for these albums, when I'm done, I listen to the album all the way through again, just one time, to see if I was right about what I said. Some of these I listened to multiple times, of course, but this is when I'm only listening to the once after I did the review. It wasn't bad, it just really wasn't good. It did get better for me after listening to it this last time. I thought I was being generous with a 7.5, but I'm bumping it up to an 8. So I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. It really is a good album. It's not great, but it is a good album. So I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10 instead of a 7.5. That's for my Cherie. So Freedom. I originally gave this one a 7.5 out of 10, and it was right there with my Cherie. I didn't care for it. This one's a tough one for me. I don't like a lot of songs on this one, but the songs I do like, I really like. There are songs on here that I can't stand, and one that I don't like and is completely unnecessary is the Modern Girl remake, Modern Girl 97. After I listened to it, when I did the review, I know I was dancing around, and I think I liked it as much as I did then because it was nostalgic, and I had nothing else on these last 2 albums that I just cared about at all. So to hear a song that was familiar, I did like it at the time, but after going back and listening to this album without filming it, any reviews or anything, I'm like, God, this is awful. I don't like it at all. So I gave it a 7.5 the first time, and I'm going to give this one a 5.5 out of 10. It's going to go down to a 5.5 because I don't know. I mean, yes, I really like 2 or 3 songs on this album, but other than that, it's forgettable. And I'm not going to go back and listen to it a lot, if at all. I don't know. I mean, I may just want to listen to all her albums again all the way through, but until then, this one's going to stay on the shelf, and I'm not even going to touch it. So 5.5 out of 10 is the new score. All right. Home. I originally gave this an 8 out of 10. I remember during the review, I really loved this album. And I don't know if I liked it more because of the last two albums. I just didn't care for them, so it was a step up. But I really liked her voice on these songs. I liked a couple of these songs on here I absolutely love. But I noticed that when I listened to it this last time, it didn't sound like Sheena. Her voice, it didn't sound like her. It didn't sound like the music she normally does. I don't know, there was something that was weird. If you have this album, go back and listen to it and see if her voice, it just didn't sound like Sheena's voice to me for some reason. But that being said, I really like the album overall. I feel like I got the rating right on this one the first time. I'm going to continue to give this an 8 out of 10. So this one, the score didn't change. I think it deserves an 8 out of 10. It really does. It's a great album. Okay, Fabulous. Okay, I originally gave this an 8 out of 10, and I got to tell you guys, I guess at the time, I was having a lot of fun with it. And, you know, I had a lot of emotions going through me, being that this was the last album review, and I had a lot of fun. And, but listening to it on its own, this was a rough one. So I wanted to judge the quality of it, not how much fun it was. And other than a couple of songs, literally all these songs sound exactly the same. It sounds like the DJ put a beat on and they just changed the music, the songs, over and over again for like 45 minutes. Other than like one song that's slow, which I like. But yeah, otherwise God, it was hard to listen to this time. It got to the point where I was getting frustrated with this album, listening to it all the way through. But like I said, there's 2 or 3 songs I do still like on this album that I listen to on their own without listening to the rest of it. But I ask myself, what was I thinking giving this an 8 out of 10 the first time? Because after listening to it the last time, I am giving this a 4 out of 10. And I'm being generous because this is not an album I've listened to other than 2 or 3 songs again. I mean, this is just, unless I'm throwing a party and I just want to stick an album on and that's dancey and that will, you know, whatever. Other than that, 4 out of 10 for Fabulous. Well, I don't want to end the ranking of these albums on a sour note. So, I'm going to review Sheena Easton's Live at the Palace in Hollywood. I'm actually going to do an album review on this real quick, without the dancing, of course, because most of the songs in here, all the songs in here, you've heard before through other albums. There's a couple of covers that were only on this album, but for the most part, you've heard these songs before. And I'm sure you've seen this album. So, I love this album. I absolutely loved it. The music choices, from the rocked out version to Prisoner, of the song Prisoner, to the cover songs, including my favorite Sheena cover song, Fooled Around and Fell in Love. I love that song anyways, but her version of this was incredible. Loved it. Her banter in between the songs, it was awesome. And believe it or not, before I listened to this album, I had not heard her talk because I haven't listened to like a lot of Sheena interviews or anything like that. So when I heard her voice in between these songs, I had to smile because it was so crazy. It caught me off guard at first, but her accent and everything. But I absolutely love this album. And after No Strings, this is my next favorite Sheena album. So for that reason, I'm also giving Sheena Easton Live at the Palace in Hollywood a 10 out of 10. I will go back and listen to this album over and over again. I'm eventually going to watch the DVD that came with it. But yeah, this is a great album. And one that I will have on repeat. So I think now that I'm done ranking them, my favorite Sheena albums are, of course, No Strings, Live, her live album, Lover and Me, and Madness, Money, and Music. Oh, and also Private Heaven. Those are the ones that got 10s out of 10s and 9.5 out of 10. I love those 5 albums. Overall, though, I have loved doing these reviews. Every album was different, it seemed like. And every one of them was a surprise. I never knew what I was going to get with them. And I'm sure there are still my new rankings. Some of you are going to be upset with them. Some of you may agree with how I rank them. But that is what they are. So, coming up next is my top 10 Sheena Easton songs. And I can promise you, I will guarantee you, there will be at least 1 or 2 that will shock you and that you will never see coming. So stay tuned for that. Let's do it. All right, here we are. This is the top 10 Sheena Easton songs from all her albums. What were my 10 favorites? Which 10 will I listen to the most out of any of her other songs? Which 10 got to me the most emotionally? Which 10 just were the best? Let's not waste any time. Number 10 is from her live album. I mentioned this during my review a while ago of the live album. My favorite cover of hers, Fooled Around and Fell in Love. Like I told you before, I love this song anyways. I love the original song, and her version of it was fantastic. Her background singers doing the harmony on it were great. The music was great. And I absolutely love this song, Fooled Around and Fell in Love. That is number 10. Number 9 comes from Best Kept Secret. And when I first heard this song during my initial review, I loved it. And I thought maybe it was just from the initial reaction. You know, I didn't think I would actually like it, but I listen to this song all the time. Number 9 is Devil in a Fast Car. I love it. Great beat. It's awesome. I don't have anything. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. It's just fantastic. And it definitely deserves to be on my top 10. Number 8 is from the Home album. We're going from The Devil to Miracles. Number 8, Never Saw a Miracle.
I never saw a miracle till baby I found you. I prayed I'd find my heaven.
This song, when I heard it during my review, I just fell in love with it instantly. It's got a very gospel beat. Got the choir in the background, and I love it. And it is one of my favorites. So number 8 is Never Saw a Miracle. All right, number 7. This comes from Madness, Money, Music album. Now, as you know, love this album. This is one of my favorites of hers. I love all the songs in here except the one I mentioned earlier. But this is one of the songs that stand out for me as one of the best ones from the album. Number 7 is Ice Out in the Rain.
Like ice out in the rain, so cold inside.
It's got a cool, chill beat to it. Her vocals on it are awesome, and I really like this song. Love this song. So number 7 is Ice Out in the Rain. All right, moving straight to number 6. This comes from one of my favorite albums, No Strings. Again, as I said before, I love every song on this album, but my favorite one from the album had to be put on this list. So for number 6, it is Nearness of You.
It's not your sweet conversation.
Her vocals are flawless on this song. I love this song. So that is number 6, Nearness of You. Number 5, had to put this one on here. The one that started it all from the first album. First song I heard of hers, Morning Train.
My baby
I still love this song. I mean, this is the song that got me on this journey in the first place. If the first song on that first album was not any good, the rest of this would have fallen apart. So for that, I have to put that as number 5, Morning Train. I love this song. It's got a fun beat to it. It's just a fun song in general. I love it. So, number 5, Morning Train. Now, number 4 is from the Lover in Me album. And as you know, I originally gave this a 10 out of 10. It bumped it to 9.5 out of 10, but I really do love this album as well. A lot of good songs on it, but my favorite song from this album is Follow My Rainbow.
And that's why, yeah, someday I'm gonna follow my rainbow.
It had a lot of, I think it was written by Babyface, had a lot of 90s Mariah Carey vibes to it, but I really love the harmonies on it, her background singer's vocals on it, her vocals on it. I just love the lyrics to this song, and so for number 4, it is Follow My Rainbow. All right, we're getting to the top 3. Here we go. Number 3 is from another one of my favorite albums of hers, A Private Heaven. Again, a lot of great songs on it. All the fast stuff is great, slow stuff is great, but my favorite song from this album that I listen to more than any of them, any other songs off that album, is Hard to Say It's Over.
It's hard to say it's over. It's hard to say goodbye. When you love someone, when you need someone who's the only one you want in your life.
You're talking about a love ballad. Vocals were great. It was just, I love this song, and these last few songs I've listened to more than the others. But yeah, number 3 is Hard to Say It's Over. I love that song. All right. This one may surprise you more than any of them on this list. Number 2. Not on any of these albums. I discovered it recently when I was going through her catalog, and the moment I heard it, this is her best song vocally, in my opinion. And it is fantastic. Number 2 is a song called Dream Worth Keeping.
When you're feeling lost, I'll be your star. Just reach out and touch me, no matter where you are.
It is from the animated movie Ferngully soundtrack. I don't know. This song was never on my radar, and I found it, and I love it, and I've listened to it so much since I discovered it. But like I said, her vocals, this song has her best vocals on it. And because of that, I have to put it so high on the list. So number 2 is a song called A Dream Worth Keeping. So check it out if you haven't heard it yet, and I promise you'll love it. All right, what is my number 1 favorite Sheena Easton song? From the moment I heard this song during the review of this album, I made the comment, I believe, there's no way another song is going to be better than this one. Or a system to that effect. And throughout this journey, I have yet to find a song I love more than this song. It is from Madness Money Music album, and it is I Wouldn't Beg for Water. Still to this day, this is my favorite song of hers. This is right up there vocally with Dream Worth Keeping to me. This song is flawless. I love it, and I've listened to it more than any other song of hers, and I will listen to this one more than any of the others. It's just a great song, great lyrics, great music, vocals were fantastic. This was peak Easton to me. So let's go down the list one more time. Number 10 is Fool Around and Fell in Love. Number 9, Devil in a Fast Car. Number 8, Never Saw a Miracle. Number 7, Ice Out in the Rain. Number 6, Nearness of You. Number 5, Morning Train. Number 4, Follow My Rainbow. Number 3, Hard to Say It's Over. Number 2, Dream Worth Keeping. And number 1, I Wouldn't Beg for Water. All right, folks, that's it. This is the end of the video. I've really enjoyed hanging out with you guys, talking to Sheena, listening to Sheena, doing all these reviews for you, and I've enjoyed making this video and going back and talking about her other albums that we haven't listened to in a while. And please, in the comment section, give me your rankings on your favorite albums. Give me your top 10 Sheena songs if you have them off the top of your head. Even if you don't have them on the top of your head, go back and listen to them. Figure out your top 10. Share them with me. I'd love to know them. I'd love to know. And also, if you would like to comment on a song or an album or a music video or something you would like me to review in the future, please let me know. But until then, it has been awesome. Love each and every one of you. Thank you for coming to watch me entertain you. And until next time, enjoy life. I make friends and I make enemies. It doesn't matter all that much to me. I'm not the kind who deals behind the scenes. I won't sell my soul, I'd be nothing without some integrity. I wouldn't beg for water. I wouldn't beg for water. If my soul was on fire, that's the last thing I would ever do. I wouldn't beg for water. I wouldn't beg for water. If my soul was on fire, but I'd get down on my knees for you. I've got pride. It's not the foolish kind. Don't owe people favors, that's my peace of mind. I don't know why I deserve someone like you, but you're my one and only sole exception to all my rules. I wouldn't beg for water. I wouldn't beg for water. If my soul was on fire, that's the last thing I would ever do. I wouldn't beg for water. I wouldn't beg for water. If my soul was on fire, but I'd get down on my knees for you. Real love is hard to find, like holding back the sands of time. But time can change my life as much as you. I wouldn't beg for water. I wouldn't beg for water. If my soul was on fire, you know me well enough to know it's true. I wouldn't beg for water. I wouldn't beg.